Welcome to the webinar, Navigating the UDL Tech Toolkit. This is a Google site that I'm really excited to share with you if you aren't already familiar with it. First of all, let me just tell you who I am. I'm Karen Janowski. I'm from Reading, Mass, and I am an assistive and inclusive technology consultant working in the greater Boston area. You may pick up on my accent a little bit. It's a little different from Nebraska. So one of the things I want you to know about me is I love to support all learners using technology. There are so many innovative ways to use technology to really keep kids engaged in the learning, and I am excited to share with you some of these options. So what is the free UDL Tech Toolkit? What is it? It's a Google site that is made up of all free tools, and they are divided by categories, including reading, writing, math, study skills, free text-to-speech, audiobooks, graphic organizers, has a number of different categories that you may find interesting, and you may be drawn to particular categories. The point is to use free tools that will increase a student's stamina for learning because you're using innovative tools or novel tools that they've never explored before, or you're using them in new ways. And the whole point is, actually, let me just explain who designed this UDL Tech Toolkit Google site. Joyce Valenza and I created it back in 2007. That's when we started it, and we try to keep it updated. And Joyce is a retired school librarian, library media specialist, and right now she's a professor in library science at Rutgers University. So why did we even create this tool? We recognize that there is learner variability in our classrooms. Some of our students come in eager to learn. Some of our students, depending on what grade they're in, they've already learned to be dependent on adults, or they've learned that learning is very difficult, whatever the reason is. They may have dyslexia, they may have a reading issue, they may have a written expression issue or an executive function issue. We want to recognize that there is learner variability, and that can lead to frustration for some students unless we provide the right types of supports. So when we think about universal design for learning, it's because the way we've always done it never really worked for every student. We want to think about UDL, which came from the field of architecture. When you think about universal design in architecture, picture what are some things that have been built into our environment that everybody benefits from. So one of the things that always comes to mind is curb cuts. Who benefits from curb cuts? Those in wheelchairs, but that's who it was designed for initially, but everyone benefits. People in strollers, rollerbladers, whatever it is, everyone, it creates a more inclusive environment that is universally designed. Another great example is the use of levered door handles, put in place for people with fine motor issues, hand issues, joint issues, where turning a doorknob may be painful or impossible. With a levered door handle, think, who benefits? Everyone. If you've got a hand, both arms full, carrying a child, carrying packages, you open the door with that lever door handle with your elbow. Everybody benefits. So that's the way we've always done it, is a way to think in new ways, like it never worked, so let's think in new ways that is universally designed. And when we think about transferring universal design into universal design for learning, it actually came from an organization here in Massachusetts called CAST. And it's a framework that recognizes learner variability and attempts to help every student become a learning expert. And so the basic premises, the basic principles are three. One of them, the first one is to provide choice through multiple methods of engagement. How are we reeling in our students? How are we getting them excited about learning whatever it is that we want to share with them, the content, whatever it is? So we're providing multiple ways to engage with the content. Then we want to offer multiple ways for them to, multiple ways to present the content to them. Classic example, we may want to use paper for some of our students, but paper doesn't work for everyone. Picture someone who's blind. Picture someone who has a physical disability that prevents them from navigating and holding the paper. Picture somebody who's dyslexic, has a reading disability, and can't read the text on that document. So paper is the disability for some students. So we want to provide an alternative format. So we want to present information to our students in a different way. So we want to provide multiple methods of presentation. And then finally, we want to offer them multiple ways to express their learning. So multiple methods of expression. And again, it doesn't need to be limited to a paper pencil task. It doesn't need to be limited to a typing task or a written expression typed task. It could be an oral expression task. It could be one of many other ways that students could demonstrate their what they have learned and their increased knowledge. So this is a very brief introduction, a very quick introduction into universal design for learning. So this particular technology toolkit, that's an online resource, it's a website, it's used by educators all over the world. And so what we want to do is we want to spend some time exploring it. So exploring is very easy. You go to the URL, you can do an internet search, UDL Tech Toolkit. It'll be the first choice that comes up. So you select the category that's in the thing link, or you can select the category at the top of the website, and then you explore. So this is, let's explore it now. This is a screenshot of what it looks like. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it right here. This will take us to the website, but I actually already have it open. And this image has been around since, we've used it since 2007, and we've had to change it a few different times. The latest iteration is it's a thing link. So we can go into these particular pages of the Google site by clicking on the thing link, and I will do that so that we open up a new window. But while that's opening up, I want you to see here too, this is another way that you can get in and go into any one of these categories. And so if I go to the More section here, I want you to see it's not just limited to these areas. There's also literacy tools, writing tools, research tools, math tools, additional tools. If you want to learn more about UDL, go to the UDL page. So here, the second way that you can access all of the pages in the UDL Tech Toolkit is to open up the thing link itself. Click on the thing link. And this, here it is here, and you'll see all of these circles. If you let your cursor rest on any one of these circles, so here I can learn more about graphic organizers. I can learn more on the writing tools page. I can learn more about the math tools page. So what I want to show you, let's get started with the writing tools page. This is very often a reason why we get referrals for the need to coach or assess for the need of assistive technology, because oftentimes students are dependent on adults to scribe for them, or they'll dictate, or they too often, unfortunately, have meltdowns when it comes time to write, and some students really struggle with the whole process of written expression. What we want to do is help reframe how they see themselves as a writer. So in the writing tools page, here are some general categories right up at the top. Grammarly is a great tool. The only thing to know about it, it is not COPA compliant, so it is for age 13 and older only. Here is some editing tools here. Here's a number of different tools, but I really want to point you to this part of the written expression page, the writing tools. Writing tools to engage reluctant writers. We have way too many kids who don't feel that they are confident writers. Let's change how they view themselves. Let's build their confidence. So there's tools like Write Reader, which is especially good for beginning readers. And here are some lesson plan ideas. Little Bird Tales is also very good for young writers. There are book creation tools that are free. There's Storyboard That, which is a really fun tool. There's teacher guides here. There's also Storybird, which has beautiful graphics, but you can see there are a number of different tools that here's some interactive writing prompts. So there's sometimes if we give students a blank Google Doc or a blank piece of paper, where do I begin? It's overwhelming. So here are a number of tools that can help them get started. Interactive digital activities in the Read, Write, Think. And if they're really overwhelmed, Wacky Web Tales is a great website. I'll just take you there so you can see all of those are linked, and we'll take you outside of the Google site to the website, to that particular website. And what's nice about Wacky Web Tales is it is geared for grade 3 and above. It is similar to Mad Libs. So what it is, so we can click on, it's summer, so we can click on the beach. And what we do is now all we have to do is type in single words. And so again, that could even be, I often recommend this site as a good way to begin keyboard proficiency, because students are only focusing in on one word, and there's not a high cognitive load for that. So if they're unsure of what an adjective is, if you scroll down to the bottom, there even is some parts of speech help, which is really helpful. So they're just putting in the single word, fill in the blanks, and then when they get to the bottom, they'll see their Wacky Web Tale. So just want to highlight that. But again, there are a lot of really great resources here. Comic strip creation, because again, reducing the cognitive load, that could help students be more successful and start the process of helping them to see, oh, I can compose text. I have an alternative way to demonstrate my learning. So explore the writing tools. Next, I want to show you the literacy tools. So we'll click here, and that will take us to there's some free early literacy tools. There's also some tools, this will help you for simulation, help you understand what is, so it thinks I wanted the dictionary, which I do not. Oh, I highlighted instructional, so let's get rid of this. Not sure why that showed up and why it won't. Okay. So we want to get out of that. And so there's the AIM Explorer, which is a simulation tool, the AIM Navigator, and the PAR, the Protocol for Accommodations in Reading. These two tools can help us to determine what accommodations, what visual accommodations, text-to-speech accommodations do students need. So those can be helpful. Then there are some early literacy tools that are free, some regular literacy tools. This one, Immersive Reader, is great for text-to-speech. Insert Learning and Actively Learn are really excellent for reading comprehension. Common Lit and ReadWorks as well, excellent resources. One of the things I do want to show you is this article a day feature. One of the things that research shows is that if students don't have a strong background knowledge, that is part of the reason that they may not comprehend what they are reading. So we want to build their vocabulary and their reading comprehension. And the article a day is designed specifically for that purpose. They add a new article a day, it can go by grade level and Lexile level, and the point is to build background knowledge and build vocabulary. And so that's a great tool and it's free. These are all free, lit charts. But I want to scroll down to the bottom. There's free online books, but also this page, this part here, here's some resources for grades 5 through 12 for literacy. And oftentimes that is an area that's overlooked. So lit charts is especially great to help students, middle and high school students, better understand complex text. They keep adding it's a literature guide. It's like Shmoop, but there's few advertisements, which is really great. This one, 60-second recap, it has about 40 classic books that are read in middle school and high school. So they have different recaps of different chapters that are only 60 seconds long. So this can help our struggling readers and struggling comprehenders better understand their text that they are reading. Let me just show you lit charts really quickly, because it is a really excellent tool to know about. I know, for example, when I was in high school, did I understand The Great Gatsby? No, it went way over my head. I didn't get it. So here I can, so I'm at litcharts.com. So they keep adding new ones. There's 1,300 literature guides. So I can search, and I'm going to close that. I'm going to search for The Great Gatsby. And so this is all free. I'm going to show you the free part. There is a premium version, and it looks like, oh no, I can't get into it. This is all grayed out. Here's the literature guide for Great Gatsby right here. So I'm going to click on it. And here's my Great Gatsby study guide. So I have an introduction, plot summary, detailed summary and analysis, themes, quotes, characters. Fantastic. So it's all right here too. The one thing I do want to point out, it has a theme wheel and it has the themes color coded, but the characters, I like this because, again, some of our struggling readers, they can't hold on to the different characters. So it explains all of the main characters, but it even looks at the minor characters as well. And that can be very helpful. So lit charts, you really do want to explore that if you work with students who struggle with comprehension. So we looked at the writing skills. We can look at the multimedia and digital storytelling tools, a number of tools for your app, for your iPads, as well as online resources, so that there are a number of, when we think about universal design for expression, using digital storytelling and multimedia tools can be a really engaging way for students to better demonstrate what they've learned. So this is a really awesome collection as well that you will want to explore. There's also audiobooks. There's also study skills tools for some of our students need help with research and study skills, especially those who have executive function issues. So here's a whole productivity tools areas, some online flashcard tools, lots of different ideas. So feel free to explore. There's lots of information here. This link will take you right to the free technology toolkit. Again, you can do an internet search, free tech toolkit for UDL or UDL Tech Toolkit, and it will be the first choice. So now I just want to say thank you for joining me today. I hope that you found this helpful, and that you can add this to your own technology toolkit for working with students. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at karenjanowski@gmail.com. And you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Karen Jan. Twitter is really an awesome tool for staying on top of new developments in education. Did you know that the largest group of professionals on Twitter are teachers? There is so much sharing of that kind of information. So I thank you for joining me, and here are the credits, and maybe see you online. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching this webinar. For more information on the ATP Education Program, please visit our website at atp.nebraska.gov or email us at atp.education@nebraska.gov.